There's gold in them, they're hills, or, yards. HOA Karen Mildred McMillan declared, her voice ringing with an uncharacteristic, almost manic excitement. She stood on my perfectly ordinary, meticulously maintained, and HOA-compliant, thank you very much, front lawn, brandishing a ridiculously oversized, cartoonishly inaccurate-looking treasure map, which appeared to be drawn on a slightly crumpled paper napkin. And she was, pointing at my petunias. My perfectly beige, HOA-approved petunias. Gold? I repeated, blinking, wondering if the afternoon sun was finally getting to her, or if Willowbrook Estates was about to experience its first documented case of spontaneous suburban gold rush fever. Karen, are you feeling all right? Have you been out in the sun too long? HOA, Karen scoffed, a dismissive snort that could curdle milk at 50 paces. Feeling all right? Miss, she paused, that familiar, dehumanizing pause. Jenkins, I have never felt more alert, more enlightened, don't you see? She waved the napkin map at me, nearly poking me in the eye with a crudely drawn X, marking the spot, conveniently located directly beneath my prize-winning for beigeness petunias. This map, it's authentic, a genuine artifact, passed down through generations of Willowbrook prospectors. Willowbrook prospectors? Willowbrook Estates was barely 30 years old, built on what used to be Farmer McGregor's prize-winning zucchini patch. The only prospecting ever done in Willowbrook involved scouting for the best deals on beige patio furniture at the annual HOA garage sale. But logic, reason, and historical accuracy were clearly no match for HOA Karen's sudden and frankly bizarre gold fever. Prospectors, Karen? I said, trying to keep a straight face despite the absurdity of the situation threatening to overwhelm me. In Willowbrook Estates? Are you sure you don't mean landscapers? Landscapers? She scoffed again, the word dripping with disdain. Miss Jenkins, you are being willfully dense. This isn't about petunias and perfectly edged lawns. This is about gold, Willowbrook gold, buried treasure, riches beyond your wildest beige suburban dreams. She puffed out her chest, her power suit practically vibrating with gold lust. And, she added, lowering her voice to a conspiratorial whisper, leaning closer, her eyes gleaming with avarice, I believe it's buried right here. On your property. On my property. Of course. Why wouldn't the legendary Willowbrook gold be buried on my property? It was just my luck. First, a tree-sidey incident, then a permit pandemonium picnic, and now gold-crazed HOA Karen, convinced my front yard was the next Klondike. Willowbrook Estates, it seemed, was destined to become the epicenter of suburban absurdity. And I, apparently, was destined to be ground zero for HOA Karen Mildred McMillan's latest, and possibly most delusional, scheme. This was going to be interesting, and by interesting, I meant utterly, hilariously, and probably gold-dustedly chaotic. Willowbrook Estates, prepare for the gold rush. HOA Karen style. HOA Karen's gold rush began with the subtlety of a rhinoceros tap dancing in a china shop, which, in HOA Karen terms, was probably considered discreet. The next morning I awoke to the sound of digging. Not the gentle rustling of squirrels burying acorns, but the rhythmic, determined thud of shovels hitting earth, accompanied by HOA Karen's increasingly frantic, high-pitched pronouncements. Peeking through my curtains, I witnessed the spectacle. HOA Karen, clad in a ludicrously oversized safari hat and gardening gloves that looked suspiciously like dishwashing gloves, wielding a shovel that seemed almost as big as she was, hacking away at my perfectly manicured lawn, right next to my newly planted HOA-approved and blessedly bee-attracting rose bushes. And assisting her, looking deeply unimpressed and vaguely embarrassed, was poor Mr. Henderson, apparently conscripted into HOA Karen's gold-digging army. "Deeper, Mr. Henderson, deeper!" OA Karen shrieked, brandishing the napkin map like a divining rod. The map clearly indicates 7 paces from the beige petunias, then dig deep, Mr. Henderson. Think gold vein. Think riches. Mr. Henderson, bless his ever-suffering soul, sighed audibly but continued digging, his shovel hitting something metallic with a clang. HOA Karen gasped, her eyes widening, her safari hat nearly falling off in her excitement. "Gold! I knew it! I knew the map was genuine! We've struck gold, Mr. Henderson! Willowbrook gold!" She scrambled into the hole, frantically clawing at the dirt with her dishwashing glove-clad hands, unearthing a rusty old sprinkler head. The deflation was almost audible. Mr. Henderson, trying to suppress a chuckle, muttered something about false alarms and maybe the map is upside down. HOA Karen, however, was undeterred. Nonsense. Mr. Henderson? Just a test run. A mere sprinkler-related setback. The gold is here. I can feel it. We just need to dig more. And dig more she did. For days. Willowbrook Estates became the unlikely setting for a full-blown, if utterly delusional, gold rush. HOA Karen, fueled by caffeine, delusion, and the unwavering belief in her napkin map, transformed my front yard into a lunar landscape of excavated holes, piles of upturned sod, and scattered gardening tools. She hired expert consultants, a pair of teenage boys with metal detectors borrowed from their dads. She consulted ancient texts, internet articles about gold prospecting she'd printed out and laminated naturally. She even started wearing a miner's helmet, complete with a comically oversized headlamp, even in broad daylight. The neighborhood, initially bewildered, quickly transitioned to amused, then to entertained. Young Mr. Davis, predictably, set up a gold-digging cam, live stream, broadcasting HOA Karen's increasingly frantic and increasingly fruitless excavations to the internet, complete with Gold Rush-themed emojis, banjo music, and running commentary that was once again comedic gold. And there she digs, folks, HOA Karen, deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. Or should we say the gold hole? Will she strike it rich? Will she unearth the legendary Willowbrook gold? Or will she just find more rusty sprinkler heads? Stay tuned, folks. This is Willowbrook Gold Rush history in the making. The Willowbrook Gold Rush, fueled by HOA Karen's delusion and broadcast to the world by young Mr. Davis, was going viral. And I, watching from my increasingly cratered front yard, sipping my coffee and plotting my fool's gold payback, couldn't help but smile. HOA Karen was digging her own grave, or rather her own goldless hole of public humiliation, and I was about to fill it with chocolate coins. Operation Fool's Gold Payback was officially in excavation mode. Operation Fool's Gold Payback required strategic salting. Not with actual salt, of course, but with something far more enticing to a gold-crazed HOA. Karen, shiny, golden, and utterly, hilariously, fake. Chocolate coins, mountains of them. Enough to fill her with initial triumphant glee, only to be followed by the crushing weight of chocolatey disappointment and public ridicule. I acquired my gold from a bulk candy supplier. Bags and bags of chocolate coins, wrapped in gleaming gold foil, looking deceptively like the real deal, at least to the untrained, gold-fevered eye. Under the cover of darkness, armed with my bags of chocolate gold, a shovel, a proper digging shovel, not HOA Karen's dishwashing glove-compatible gardening trowel, and a mischievous grin, I ventured out into my lunar landscape of a front yard. HOA Karen, bless her gold-obsessed heart, had helpfully left her excavation site, conveniently marked. Giant holes, piles of dirt, and discarded miner's helmet. It was like a treasure map already drawn in my own front yard. I chose the most promising-looking hole, the one closest to the X on her napkin map, right under my beige petunias, naturally, and began to salt the mine. Layer by layer, I buried the chocolate coins. A layer of dirt, a generous handful of chocolate gold, another layer of dirt, more chocolate coins, repeating the process, creating a deliciously deceptive vein of fool's gold, just waiting to be discovered. I even strategically placed a few larger, more impressive-looking chocolate coins near the surface to ensure a quick and dramatic strike when HOA Karen resumed her excavation efforts in the morning. For added authenticity, I sprinkled a few genuine-looking prospecting items amongst the chocolate coins. Rusty nails, bits of fool's pyrite, ironically actual fool's gold to enhance the fool's gold deception. Even a tarnished brass button that, in the dim morning light, might just pass for a gold nugget to a delirious HOA Karen. Subtle touches, but crucial for maximizing the initial impact of the discovery. As I worked, burying my chocolate treasure, I couldn't help but chuckle. HOA Karen, digging for real gold, would find candy, sweet, sugary, utterly worthless candy. The irony was delicious. The karmic justice, even sweeter, and the impending public humiliation, priceless. By the time the first rays of dawn peeked over the horizon, Operation Fool's Gold Payback was complete. The mine was salted, the stage was set, and HOA Karen Mildred McMillan was about to embark on the most hilariously disappointing gold rush of her suburban career. All that was left to do was wait and watch. And maybe, just maybe, brew a pot of coffee, grab a front row seat by my window, and prepare to witness the glorious, chocolatey, and utterly satisfying fool's gold fallout. Willowbrook Estates, prepare for the sweetest gold rush bust in suburban history. The chocolate coins were planted. The trap was set. Let the fool's gold frenzy begin. The morning of the discovery dawned bright and clear, the kind of deceptively cheerful suburban morning that masked a brewing storm of chocolatey chaos. HOA Karen, predictably, was up with the sun, eager to resume her gold-digging quest, fueled by caffeine, delusion, and the unwavering belief that today was the day she would strike Willowbrook gold. I watched from my kitchen window, Bcam livestream open on my laptop, coffee steaming in my hand, as HOA Karen, miner's helmet gleaming, marched into my yard, Mr. Henderson trailing reluctantly behind, shovels at the ready. The anticipation was almost unbearable. The chocolate coin reveal was imminent. The fool's gold payoff was about to begin. "All right, Mr. Henderson, today is the day," HOA Karen declared, her voice ringing with triumphant certainty. "I can feel it. The gold is practically vibrating. We're going to dig right here." She pointed dramatically at the salted hole, the one strategically positioned under my beige petunias, the one brimming with buried chocolate treasure. Mr. Henderson, looking unconvinced but ever compliant, shrugged and started digging. Shovel after shovel of dirt flew, the tension in the air thick enough to cut with a gold-plated butter knife. And then, clang! Mr. Henderson's shovel hit something metallic. HOA Karen gasped, her eyes widening to saucer-sized proportions. "Gold! It's gold! I knew it! Dig faster, Mr. Henderson! Faster!" Mr. Henderson, spurred by HOA Karen's frantic urging, dug with renewed vigor, unearthing a small, shiny object. He brushed off the dirt, held it up to the sunlight, and blinked. It was a chocolate coin, wrapped in gleaming gold foil. But HOA Karen, blinded by gold fever, didn't see the telltale wrapper, didn't notice the slightly chocolatey sheen. She snatched the coin from Mr. Henderson's hand, held it aloft, and let out a triumphant shriek that could shatter glass at 50 paces. "Gold! Willowbrook gold! We've struck it rich, Mr. Henderson! Riches beyond our wildest dreams!" She started digging frantically with her bare hands, clawing at the dirt, unearthing more and more shiny golden objects. Chocolate coins, dozens of them, hundreds of them, a veritable vein of fool's gold glinting in the morning sun, shimmering like a suburban treasure trove. "Look, Mr. Henderson, look!" HOA Karen cried, holding up handful after handful of chocolate coins, her face flushed with manic glee. "Gold, real Willowbrook gold. I told you the map was genuine. I told you. We're rich, Mr. Henderson, rich!" Mr. Henderson, however, was looking less than convinced. He picked up a chocolate coin, examined it closely, peeled back a corner of the foil wrapper, and sniffed. Then he tentatively licked it. His eyes widened, not with gold fever, but with dawning realization. "Mildred," he said slowly, his voice laced with a mixture of disbelief and amusement, I think this might not be gold." HOA Karen, still lost in her chocolate coin-induced euphoria, barely registered his words. "Nonsense, Mr. Henderson! Don't be ridiculous. It's gold. Look at it. Shiny, golden. It's Willowbrook gold." Mr. Henderson, with a sigh of resignation, peeled back the foil wrapper completely, revealing the telltale brown chocolate underneath. He held it out to HOA Karen. He repeated, louder this time, "It's chocolate. Chocolate coins. Candy." The silence that followed was deafening. HOA Karen stared at the chocolate coin, then at Mr. Henderson, then back at the hole overflowing with shiny golden wrappers. The realization dawned slowly, painfully, like a dentist's drill boring into a particularly sensitive nerve. Her face, moments ago flushed with triumphant glee, slowly drained of color, replaced by a sickly ashen hue. Her eyes, wide with gold fever, narrowed with dawning horror and utter, unadulterated public humiliation. The Bcam livestream naturally captured every excruciating, chocolatey moment, broadcasting HOA Karen's fool's gold fiasco to the world, complete with chocolate coin emojis, banjo music, and young Mr. Davis's commentary reaching peak comedic brilliance. Oh dear viewers, oh dears, it appears our Willowbrook gold rush has taken a chocolatey turn. Yes, folks, you are not hallucinating. That is indeed chocolate, chalk coins. HOA Karen, ladies and gentlemen, has chocolate, not gold. Chocolate, the sweetest gold rush bust in suburban history. The laughter started subtly, then grew, spreading through Willowbrook estates like wildfire, echoing across perfectly manicured lawns and perfectly beige houses, a wave of schadenfreude washing over the neighborhood, as HOA Karen Mildred McMillan, the queen of rules, the gold-digging HOA Karen, stood there, knee-deep in a hole full of chocolate coins. Her gold rush dream crumbled. Her public image melted. Her humiliation priceless. Fool's Gold payback? Mission. Deliciously accomplished. The chocolate coin catastrophe, as it became known in Willowbrook Estates lore, marked the official end of HOA Karen Mildred Millen's reign of suburban terror, and the beginning of a new era of chocolate-infused community amusement. The BCam livestream went viral, HOA Karen's Fool's Gold Rush became an internet meme, and Willowbrook Estates, once known for its beige uniformity and rule-obsessed residents, became briefly, gloriously, and hilariously famous for chocolate coins. HOA Karen predictably vanished from public view, retreating into her house, presumably to contemplate the crushing weight of chocolatey humiliation and the enduring power of internet mockery. Her safari hat and miner's helmet were never seen again. The emails stopped, the violation notices ceased. She became a suburban legend, a cautionary tale whispered with a chuckle. Remember HOA Karen? The one who dug for gold and found chocolate? Yeah, don't be that HOA Karen. The Willowbrook Estates HOA, now under the permanently liberated leadership of Brenda McMillan, who, bless her chocolate-loving soul, actually found the whole thing rather funny, issued a revised HOA rulebook, subtly amended to include a new clause. Rule 42, subsection Z, paragraph 27. Unauthorized gold mining and/or chocolate coin excavation is strictly prohibited unless properly permitted and conducted with a sense of humor. As for me, I became the unlikely hero of the Willowbrook chocolate coin caper, the Fool's Gold foiler, the woman who outsmarted HOA Karen with candy. My yard, once cratered and ridiculed, became a local landmark, the Willowbrook chocolate mine, a testament to suburban absurdity and the sweet taste of karmic justice. And the chocolate coins? Well, they didn't go to waste. The neighborhood kids, initially drawn by the BCam spectacle, quickly realized the true treasure of the mine: free candy. They descended upon my yard, armed with plastic shovels and gleeful abandon, mining for chocolate coins, turning HOA Karen's humiliation into a neighborhood-wide candy-fueled celebration. We hosted a Willowbrook Chocolate Coin Festival, complete with chocolate fountains, chocolate coin piñatas, and a HOA Karen Fool's Gold bake-off. Chocolate coin cookies were surprisingly popular, and every time I saw a kid gleefully digging for chocolate coins in my front yard, or heard someone chuckle about HOA Karen's Gold Rush, or tasted the delicious, slightly ironic sweetness of a chocolate coin, I couldn't help but smile. Fool's Gold payback had been more than just revenge. It had been community therapy. A shared moment of laughter, of rebellion, of suburban sweetness triumphing over rule-obsessed tyranny. Willowbrook Estates finally was rich, not with gold, but with something far more valuable: a sense of humor, a taste for chocolatey justice, and the enduring and deliciously satisfying legacy of HOA Karen Mildred McMillan's Fool's Gold fiasco. And that, I thought, was a truly golden ending: sweet, satisfying, and perfectly chocolatey.